Guys, the kitchen is in the back. I am very, very nervous. We are on the way. The car's been loaded up with all the bits that I think I'm gonna need to cook for His Highness, royalty, King Charles, my king. Oh, I'm very excited for this. Let's hope we make it in one piece and this is a success. Charles! Oh, well, it looks amazing.
What a pleasure to see you.
It looks amazing as ever.
Thank you.
Do I need to take my shoes off? Is that part of the dress code?
It's good energy here.
All right, I can do the same. Oh, it looks so good here.
Thank you.
Paradise. I've had a bad year so far with my garden. I've struggled a bit. Have you struggled at all, or?
No, I've struggled, but not on everything. Most things actually I'm doing all right, but things like these French beans, they're just not growing. You know, it's not warm enough.
No, it doesn't seem warm enough.
Incredible.
But your corn looks beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, many things are amazing me, and there's stories to be told behind that, but I'm pretty happy actually.
Yeah, and you think being king of the no-dig is helping?
Certainly.
Even against with these these harsh conditions that we seem to be having?
It's a big difference, yeah, soil quality. It's the building block of everything.
Well, I was thinking today, I mean, last time we came, I did a really sort of sophisticated dish, the celebration of your carrots.
Yeah.
You remember when I was smoking carrots and all sorts? We served it up in the rain under the compost heat, which was funny. Luckily today we got some lovely weather. I was thinking, why don't we make a simple dish, something that we would make in the evenings after just coming out from the garden into the kitchen.
Yeah.
Big trug of veg, like a taste of the garden stew. So a taste of Charles Dowding's garden stew, something simple.
Superb.
Can we do that?
Yeah, definitely, because I mean, it's a big thing for me that I think the best cooking is what explores the natural flavours that are there.
Yeah. So I've simplified so much my cooking since growing my own food. It may not seem it, but I promise. And today is going to showcase that. So what have we got to harvest? You got anything nice, something for a base, like some scallion?
Yes. Yeah, spring onions.
Oh, amazing.
Let's go and have a look.
Ow. Oh, this is looking lovely. And the asparagus.
Yeah, that was stopped picking about 3 weeks ago now.
Oh yeah,
and
these
spring spring onions actually, they because of all the rain we've had this year, they've got something called downy mildew on the leaves.
Is that the yellow?
Yeah, yellow result. And if you look closely, you can see some of the brown or dark grey mildew, which turns yellow.
Well, I mean, for our stew, this is just the base, so we can take the ugly veg, and this is going to be fine. I'm sure they're going to taste absolutely great.
Cool, because I mean they've gone a bit beyond scallion stage, and
oh wow, gosh, they are beautiful, really nice. Nice little bulb as well. Do you find that even with someone with your wealth of experience and obviously being the king of growing no-dig style, do you feel that it doesn't matter what level of experience you have, you always seem to say, oh, my onions are a little bit brown. Whenever someone comes to my garden, doesn't matter how perfect it looks, I'm always making excuses saying, oh, don't look by there, there's a patch. Your garden is so perfect. You know, if you didn't mention this little sort of, what did you call it, a mildew?
Yeah, it's a mildew.
I wouldn't have noticed it.
Okay, cool. Well,
these look great. And these are going to be great for the bottom of the stew. I'm
just tidying them off. I mean, do you think, is that worth doing, or you do that
later?
Yeah,
so to save this sort of dirt going in the basket, you just prep them outside?
Yeah, I kind of like to do this whenever I'm harvesting, and so I'm taking into the kitchen, almost kitchen ready.
Yes. All right, should we get some garlic as well? That would be nice.
There's plenty of that.
Oh yeah? I've had tiny bulbs this year, I'm devastated.
Was that rust?
Yes, rust stopped the growth, I think.
Not too clear why it's so bad. I've known it all my life, but it's 5 times worse now than it used to be.
Really? Oh well.
Anyway, you'll see where we're storing it up here.
Hello. Oh, look at this. You're braiding up the garlic.
I know.
Actually, this is the smart way to do it, because when I braid it, it all comes loose. It's always a mess, but you just put it through the wire.
Well, this was Adam who came up with this method last year. I'd never seen it, and he reckons he worked it out. But yeah, you just push it through the neck of the garlic.
It looks great. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
Look at that.
And you've got a fair few bulbs. You've got enough garlic to choose from.
But they're also smaller than they should have been. But take your pick. I mean, how many do you want?
Look at the elephant garlic. That's what's caught my attention. Look at the size on that. No-dig garlic.
It's the flavour's not there so much though,
right.
Is it? You know, with elephant garlic,
So,
I think it's more for show.
It's just for show, right? Okay.
Well, no, it's lovely.
But what would you use it for in the kitchen? Would you just bake it whole?
Actually, in a stew, do you want to use one? in the
Okay,
stew.
yeah, let's use it in the stew. And
Yeah.
it just breaks into individual bulbs still.
Yeah, yeah, and break it apart and peel the cloves like
Wow.
you would garlic.
All right, let's give it a go.
Oh yeah, that'd be really
Amazing.
cool. Okay, so we got your base.
Yes.
And I've got a lot of stuff in my shed.
In the shed?
Well, that lean-to.
Okay.
Call it a shed. So I can show you what's available there and then see what else you want.
All right. So this is where you store any veg that you've harvested.
Yeah,
It's quite
at
a
least
nice
temporarily.
cool temperature in here, is it?
Well, it can get pretty warm in summer actually.
Oh, really?
This is the hub of keeping everything nice and fresh.
This is actually really handy because I guess back in the day they wouldn't have had fridges. You know, you would need this sort of stable temperature. And is that what this offers?
Yeah, well, funny you should say that, but I think this was a stable.
Oh.
Because they joist holes in the wall, and I think that was a hayloft up there with that door above. And so there might have been an animal in
Maybe
here.
that's
and
why it's called a stable.
stable temperature is
Stable
what
for
made me
stable
think of it.
temperatures. Oh.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean.
You've
I
even
mean-
got tomatoes in here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look at this. This first pick actually, just this
No
week.
way, guys.
Yeah, look at that.
Is this the power of no dig, or is this?
Well, it's a bit of everything.
Look at that. That's
And
a
also
tomato.
that's picked at what's called breaking stage. So when fully ripe, it's more that colour.
Right.
And the paler greeny yellow is it's good to do that because it takes the pressure off the plant. They finish
see.
ripening nicely. You don't lose much flavour, but it means the plant can go on and produce and ripen more fruit.
That's a good point to know because I've got some tomatoes that are yellow
Close.
now, and they're
Yeah.
big, juicy ones that I wanted to harvest, but I thought
Go
no,
for
they
it.
need to be red first.
Yeah.
But okay, that's
and
good
if
to
you
know.
here it's quite cool, but if you brought them into your house, they would ripen more quickly.
Okay. Oh, wow, that is sensational. But I think if we can have a few tomatoes actually, because did you know that tomatoes, like sun-dried tomatoes,
Yeah.
full of umami, that rich meaty
Oh, yeah.
flavour. And
Would
that's
you
actually
want-
the skins of tomatoes, so we're going to use them in the base of this stew. I'm going to show you today.
What about
You
that?
may know it already.
I mean, these
probably.
kinds.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, you get-
that we'll just sort of pan roast to add depth to the stew.
So that's sun golden, that's sakura.
Nice.
Good
These will be
varieties.
lovely in the base of the stew.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Great.
Oh, you got some potatoes there? Can we have
Oh
some
yeah,
of
I
those?
certainly have.
A couple of potatoes for substance.
There's
Oh,
Red
nice.
Duke of York,
Oh, red Duke of York. Look at those.
Casablanca.
Right, let's do these three. Oh, what about stock? All good stocks have celery in them.
Excellent.
So if you
You
want
come
any
to the
celery,
right place, yeah, loads.
good. Celery and maybe some carrots.
Yeah, carrots.
All right. Oh, this celery does look super healthy. Mine is literally a fraction of the size, this tall. Oh gosh, I'm doing something wrong. I need you to come visit my garden.
I did start this early, so I sowed it in late February, planted out late March, and it had a fleece over.
I really find them so fiddly, the little celery seedlings.
Yeah, they are. They're
Very
a lot of work
delicate.
to grow.
I tried growing the pink celery this year.
I think that one doesn't grow so easily.
No.
This is just bog standard golden celery.
Oh, that looks lovely. Oh, so we're at the carrot aisle, which is the first ingredient you ever grew as a youngster.
Or tried to grow.
I tried to grow it.
I sowed this bed twice, and it was only the second time it came up because of the slug.
I've sowed carrots 4 times this year. I finally got some seedlings.
Yeah, crazy, eh?
I've had 1 carrot this year so far, which is horrendous.
But what's blown me away is the speed of growth because the seed went in on the 11th of April. What do we know? The 10th of July. So
Wow.
that's 3 months, and I've been picking for
Oh, wow.
4 weeks already. And I've planted between them Brussels sprouts.
And are they under this netting for any reason? For the
Yeah,
is that for the
keep the carrot root fly off,
carrot root
hopefully.
fly? Oh, look at that. And look at the worms in your soil as well.
Hey.
You got the good stuff in there, right?
Yeah, and the mycelia, the colour,
Yeah.
the white colour you can see in some of
Wow. Charles, they are some of the nicest looking carrots. No wonder we made a dish with carrots last year. We smoked them, we pickled them.
it. And they smell great as well. That's what I love about, all this homegrown food, the aromas.
Oh, yeah,
And it's something you just don't get if you go and buy food.
so true. Charles, this is more than I could have expected already. That's absolutely beautiful.
Great.
I think some herbs. I think people in the kitchen often don't realise the power that they give dishes,
I'm intrigued to see how you do the herbs.
Yeah.
So I'll
You've
show
got
you
a
the-
herb garden, right?
Yeah, right over here.
I'm like a kid in the sweet shop. So this is the herb garden. I love how not only are they so fragrant and they add such depth and beautiful aromas to dishes, but look at the colour that they're giving this little garden.
It is pretty, isn't it? And for a lot of the summer, it's really good for pollinators, herbs.
Tell you what, I feel like I'm having like a foot massage on this journey around the farm. It feels great. It feels like it's meant to be. How often are you outside with your shoes off?
Not as often as I'd like.
Really?
I mean, well, partly because I'm on the computer quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
But when
So
I am out here and the weather's not too bad, I take them off.
it does feel good. It really
Yeah.
feels like I'm connected. I think that
Good.
was probably a mental health retreat for my mind, you know, just having my feet on the ground.
The garden is such a healthy place to be in so many ways. And look at what we're getting. We're getting all that health as well to eat.
I think last year you said some people ask you what on earth you're on sometimes. This is probably the high of the garden, isn't
I
it?
get asked that a lot. Oh, it's like a comment like, oh, Charles is on the weed again.
Oh my God. Well, you
But
could,
hey.
I mean, knowing what you've grown so far here, the giant tomatoes and whatnot, you could probably grow anything here if you wanted to.
Oh, probably, almost.
All right, so can I pick anything I want here? From
Yeah,
the
I'll
herbs?
leave you to it.
Oh,
Pick whatever
thanks.
you like.
All right, I think I'll start off with some lovely rosemary. Rosemary is always good at the base, at the start of whatever you're cooking. Same with things like thyme. These are a bit more hardy. Although in Jamaica, when we were there recently, they would put thyme in the dish at the very end to add the aroma. But I've always done it at the start. So I think today we'll do a bit of both. Oh yeah, let's get some of this parsley here. Everything's so healthy here. The ultimate garden. Oh, there's some nice courgettes there. I've got a good base, but I definitely want some of these courgettes and some soft herbs towards the end of the dish. Oh look, my kitchen is here. Isn't this great? What a beautiful place to be. And this is a lovely basket of ingredients that are gonna form the base of this stew. And this is something I would genuinely make at home when I've got my ingredients together. Something that will nourish me after a long day in the garden or work, and something that doesn't take much time. It's just a one-pot stew, but there's two ways this can go. It can just be a load of ingredients with some liquid in a pan and taste nice and nourishing, or it can be taken to the next level and be rich and fragrant and delicious. And the way you do that is by treating each cooking stage with a bit more love and care. So for example, I'm going to start by finely chopping up my scallions, the garlic and the celery, and then I'm going to slowly cook them in my pan, really slowly in fact, until they're caramelized and golden and they've released all of the sweetness and aromatics and deliciousness. That will be the perfect base to this stew. I actually don't know how to attack this. What on earth am I supposed to? I need my axe. Oh, this is huge. That is a clove of garlic. Have you ever seen anything like that in your life? Oh, it's not as strong smelling, I must say. Wow. One clove of garlic is the size of my biggest bowl this year. I can't believe it. I guess I'm gonna just chop this kind of fine. I don't know what has to do with it. It smells reminiscent of something, but I can't quite put my finger on what it is. It smells good though, really good, very oniony. Not so much garlicky, but oniony. All right, let's give it a taste. Wow, ooh, peppery. It's subtle garlic, very oniony garlic, very good though. Nice crunch, actually would be beautiful raw, maybe in a little dressing of something. That's good. This will be nice in the base of this soup. Gosh, my mouth is still on fire from that garlic. Very peppery. So we'll just chop up a few stalks of celery, another great ingredient in the base of soups and stews and sauces. Chop this fine and we'll get it sauteing off.
Smells nice.
Smells good, yeah? Well, I didn't know what to do with that giant bowl of garlic. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Unbelievable.
It smells. I think you'll find by the time it's cooked, it's not going to overpower you.
Okay, good. I think it'll sweat down nicely. Yeah. I did see some lovely courgettes and their flowers. Can I get some of that in this stew?
Totally.
Amazing.
Should we go for it?
Yeah, grab me a couple if you don't mind. I'll keep an eye on this.
Right.
Thank you. Oh, wow.
Oh, aren't they amazing?
Look at that. That's my favourite kind of flower.
Yeah, well, edible.
Yeah, edible
They
ones.
all came from one plant, though.
Wow.
You've got two males.
Nice.
3 females on the
Oh, they smell so good. Thank you so much.
I mean,
Yeah, they're stunning. Very aromatic, and these will be great just at the end and for a touch of colour as well. But I'll put the courgettes in 5 minutes before the end because we don't want to overcook them and make them soggy.
Yeah.
But this base is cooking down nicely. Always invest time in cooking the onions.
Herbs, because you know I mentioned to you about the holy basil.
Yes, I'd love some soft herbs like basil or nasturtium flower, or I got some parsley. But any soft herbs you have,
I'll go and
surprise me.
grab it.
Thanks, Charles. All right, so at this stage, weirdly enough, it's time to add some tomatoes. Now I'm going to half these and add them because, as I said to Charles, the skin of these has got great umami, great boldness, and then caramelized on the bottom of that pan whilst they're cooking, it'll add a real depth to the stew. After a few minutes of cooking the tomatoes, I'm going to add my hardy herbs, the rosemary just lightly chopped, and the thyme. Ah, yes, that's looking good. And now my carrots, again, something that is great in the base. We'll add about 3 of these, a light wash. I think Charles once said it, a little bit of dirt doesn't hurt, so I'm good with these not being fully washed. Organic, beautiful compost. Charles grows the best carrots. Wow. So that's what you want there, that blistering of the tomato skin. If I added my liquids way too soon, I wouldn't get that. And I'm just layering it and layering it and layering it. I may be overthinking it. I may be being pedantic, but I want this simple stew to have some depth and boldness. I've said depth so many times, I know, but this video is called Depth. Should we just call it Depth, the video? Maybe we should. Talking of depth, I'm gonna rehydrate some dried mushrooms that I brought from home, and then I'll cube up some potatoes that I've just peeled and get them into the pot. So the reason I love dried mushrooms is that rehydration liquid is very flavoursome. So we're not going to discard that, that's going in the stew. But before we do that, that's going to be the liquid actually we deglaze the pan with. I'm going to chop up the mushrooms and we'll add those chopped mushrooms along with the liquid together. Now, this is the exciting bit. Now that we've just deglazed the pan with a little bit of liquid, that liquid's gonna pull all of the flavor that was stuck on the bottom of the pan, that was in all of the crevices, all of that tomato goodness and the onion and that gigantic garlic is all coming to play now, and everything's coming together. Now, I guess traditionally and in other recipes, they would tell you just to throw in your vegetable stock at this point, or a stock or more liquid, maybe wine or some more liquid. That's not what I do. I get my lid on, and that's going to trap in any steam and intensify the flavour so that we don't have to add too much liquid to dilute the flavour that's there. So this will create liquid so that we don't have to add as much at the end. Oh, I feel like a kid again with my shoes off. I feel like I'm at a party. It's so sweet, it's nice. Of course, we need to add salt and pepper to this stew. It's very important we'll add it at this stage right now, but another seasoning I like to add is a bay leaf. And I've just found a little pot of bay. These courgettes are beautiful as well. Everything's beautiful. And look at that lovely little geometric almost pattern inside. That is stunning. I've cut some of them, the bigger ones, into chunks and rounds, and the smaller ones I just cut in half lengthways, which will add another little texture and look to the soup too. And it's at this point I'm going to add these because I don't want these to overcook and go mushy. It'll be perfect to add to the stew right now. Oh, look at that colour on that broth already. Very rich, very vibrant. I just added water. I'm confident enough in the cooking techniques and the time that I invested and those dried mushrooms and the salt and the pepper that I'm going to add additionally now to not have to use veg stock. Now that the courgettes are added, it's not going to be much longer cooking, about 5 minutes. And this is where the final step comes in and we're almost ready for Charles to come out and taste. What I like to do, actually, similar to what I saw in Jamaica where they add thyme at the end of the dish, which is that aromatic herb that just, I guess, brings more life to whatever they're cooking at the very end of the dish. I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to add some aromatics in the form of some parsley, some basil, which Charles picked me, the flowers of the courgette, and some nasturtium flowers, hopefully too. We'll see what he's got me. But those soft herbs, those flowers, they're all going to add a real kick and a zest and a bit of life to the stew at the very end. I'm so sorry. Charles, you've got my lovely bowl of herbs.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, any
look
you
at
might
that.
want. There's
Amazing.
Tulsa or holy basil.
Holy basil, famed for its medicinal properties, I hear.
Yeah, and I find it tasty as well.
Yeah, very aromatic, and some chard too.
Chard if you want.
Lovely, yes.
Why, you still got the flowers there? Nice.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the flowers and these soft herbs that are so aromatic. What I tend to do with the likes of basil and these parsley and then the courgette flowers, if you have a look at the stew, I've spent time investing in producing a lot of flavour. There's no
great.
veg stock added whatsoever.
Oh,
So
gorgeous colour too, isn't it? That's tomato.
yeah, the
And
tomatoes
carrots.
in the base, it created that.
Ah, okay.
But at the very end, I think adding the flowers and these soft herbs just adds that aromaticness and a lift towards the end. So what I'm going to do now is just chop up these flowers and the soft herbs. We'll add them to the stew along with a touch of balsamic vinegar. And I'm also going to just shred the chard and serve that raw in the bowl, and it will sort of wilt down as you add that hot soup. So, there's hardly any outside ingredients in this. This is your garden's, taste your garden stew.
Love it, love it. Right, bit of balsamic vinegar.
Yeah, little at the end, yeah. And what else did I add?
Bit of oil.
A bit of oil and some dried mushrooms, which I can't live without, fortunately. And I would like to say I foraged them, but not on this occasion.
Do you know, we got some mushrooms growing here, but they keep getting eaten by slugs.
Oh really? What kind of mushrooms?
Wine
Wine caps?
yeah,
Yeah.
the red wine cups.
Yeah, nice.
I can't remember
That's,
the name.
that's strange. So hopefully this
Okay.
is really rich. It's fully loaded. It's quite hard to control the heat on that fire. So things have cooked a little bit more than I like, but that's what happens when you're cooking on
the
fire.
of the carrots.
Yeah, I must say, Charles, this is a lot less fancy than the last time I came here. This is more humble. This is something my nan would have made me. But hopefully it's sophisticated in
Would
taste.
she have had homegrown ingredients?
Unfortunately not. I think maybe when she was growing up as a child,
Yeah.
but not
And
when
she
she was
was in
raising my
London.
parents. No, she was in Cardiff.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, of
yeah.
course. Sorry.
I'm a Welsh boy.
Yeah. I forgot. But I feel that, you know, a simple dish like this, as you put it, is actually, the flavours are so complex, aren't they, from the produce being grown in such healthy soil
Yeah, and
fresh.
so true. I think, and particularly the way the layering I did with the flavours. So cooking the base first,
Okay.
and then not adding too much liquid. So I put the lid on to create steam, so I don't have to add as much liquid, which won't then dilute the flavour of everything.
So what would you estimate is the time needed for a dish like this?
I reckon you could have this done in 25-30 minutes. I mean, particularly with summer vegetables as well. Maybe I wouldn't add potatoes and carrots. They could add, it would cook way quicker.
Yeah.
And also, just to garnish, you have to try this. So this is rhubarb from my garden.
Woo.
Or maybe my neighbour's garden, this one. She grows the best rhubarb. Doesn't matter anyway. It's from Wales. And rather than pickling it, I lacto fermented it. So it's just salt and rhubarb.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's like a rhubarb sauerkraut.
Ooh, it's spiky.
Yeah, and it's just going to bring an extra bit of life.
Oh, but it certainly
this.
brought extra flavour to the rhubarb.
Yeah, it's weird.
No sugar then, it's just
no
the
sugar.
Sugars that were in the rhubarb.
Exactly, so it's just salt and rhubarb. Finally, I have to finish off with my favourite sauce of all, tahini, a little pumpkin seed, and lastly, a few of Charles's nasturtium leaves. Charles, we have this running joke, me and Tom, behind the camera, that I don't know when to finish a dish because I keep adding extra toppings. I'm sorry, but just a little olive oil to finish. It's going to be cold by the time we serve it. But just olive oil, I love it so much. It adds a pepperiness at the end of the dish. And with something simple like this, you know, just adding little touches like this will make it a little bit more sophisticated and rich, I think. Hopefully this tastes good.
Oh, I love the herbs. What did you put in fact?
Can't remember now. I added about 1 million ingredients, I think. No, I used some of your parsley and thyme and rosemary and nasturtium. Did you get a bit of that rhubarb with everything?
I haven't got it yet, but
I think what I would have done differently if I had the control over the heat to the fire would have cooked it a little bit quicker. So I didn't want the potatoes to become a little bit too soft, but still.
I think in a way that's nice though, because it gives a bit of body to the
True, yeah.
the sauce.
Yeah. Put meat on your bones, I think they say, don't they? But to think I didn't add any vegetable stock, it's just the cooking technique of your incredible produce. Really.
And tomato juice, I guess. That's really good, isn't it? It's so good, this taste of summer.
Well, it's funny you say taste of summer, really, because I haven't got that mindset. I just don't think we've had the weather to make me feel summery, and this is this is not very summery in terms of my cooking technique. This is quite hearty. It feels
stew.
it's a bit hearty.
You're
I think
right.
summery for me would be a bit lighter with peas in it and a bit clearer broth, maybe some white wine. But I just wanted to showcase as many veg as I could get in there, but it still feels summer. But you could also eat this in the winter. Do you know what I mean?
No, because for me it's like the courgettes fresh.
Ah, true.
Tomatoes.
Yeah. So this is a gardener's meal then.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
good to know. Yeah.
That's a nice way of
Everything
putting it.
in the pot.
Yeah, and quick to make, like you say.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Charles, thank you for always inspiring me year on year, even when I've had such a bad year of growing. Seeing your videos actually gave me life and positivity to continue.
Oh, thank you.
It's not a failure. You can take positive from certain parts of the garden.
Always.
And being here today is just amazing. So thank you so much. And we did a video for your channel too.
We have, so check it out.
Yeah, thank you for
we'll
having
put a
me.
link on. Perhaps we will share links.
Yes, that would be great. Yeah, and again, I said it last year, but you've inspired so many doing what you do. So thank you so much. And cheers for letting us come back and cook your lovely veg.
It's my pleasure.
Guys, I'm so happy to share with you my new book. Or actually, this is actually a revamped version of my old Christmas book that came out many years ago. I wanted to modernize it, and look at this beautiful green and the gold, it's matching my new kitchen. But more importantly, inside there's a whole heap of new recipes, new photos, and it's perfect not just for Christmas, but actually for Thanksgiving and any special festive occasion. You'll find some incredible new recipes in here, from preservation to indulgent desserts and incredible party food and edible gifts too. I'm very proud of this, and I'm so happy to remake it and offer something else to the world that's going to hopefully help you during the amazing festive Christmas times and so many other holidays and parties. So here it is, Plants Only Holidays, out now. Please support it, really helps the channel. Just click the link beneath this video to get your hands on a signed copy that my mum sends out all around the world. If you don't want to get it from my website, you can also get it from any good bookstore or on Amazon.